We will print Floyd's triangle today using the loop structure, and Floyd's triangle is right over here. You can see its structure, how it looks like. So we are supposed to make this pattern on the screen, okay, using the assembly language, of course. So we will be using while loops, 2 while loops. If you have seen the previous video of the simple patterns using asterisk, then you can understand this easily. So we are going to have 2 loops, one for controlling the row numbers, and second for controlling the number of columns. And you can also see in this pattern that in my row number 1 I have only 1 column, in my row number 2 I have 2 columns, in my row number 3 I have 3 columns. So this basically tells us that how many times I'm going to control my inner loop, or you can say my number of columns. My number of columns are less than or equal to that particular row number. Like in this row number 4, my column numbers should be only 4. It can be equal to 4, but it cannot be greater than 4, okay. So by using this analysis, we are going to start our loops, okay. So we will be using ECX register for our rows, for controlling the number of rows, and we will be using EBX register for the columns, okay. And one thing we have to notice, that each time we go into the next row, we will be clearing our column register, that is EBX. We will move 0 each time we go into the next row. You will see this, that why we are doing this, but we have to do this, okay. So now starting from here, I'm just declaring a you can say a variable, integer variable, and a equals u. This is a sort of equal directive, like we are assigning a value to a. This is how you can work in assembly using the equal directive, okay. So inside my main procedure, what I am doing, I am moving 3 in num1, which means that I am you can also initialize it over here. Instead of question mark, you can write 3, of course, but what I am doing, I am moving 3 in num1 by this statement. So my num1 is 3. So why I am doing this to 3, you will get this by the end of the video. And I am moving 0 in EDX, I am moving 0 also in ECX. A means 0, right? So we are moving 0 in both of these registers. As I have told, we are using ECX register for controlling number of rows, right? So you can see over here in my first row, I have only a single column, right? Single first row, single column, and that particular number to be displayed on that column is 0, right? So what do we have to do? You have to move 0 first of all in ECX, and then I'm comparing. This is how the while loop work, dot while and then your condition. So I'm comparing ECX, that is 0. Is 0 less than equals to 3? Yes, true. We'll go inside the loop. This is my outer loop, this is my inner loop. We are using nested loops because this is how you can control both rows and columns at the same time. And then after 0 is less than equals to 3, we are moving EBX, we are moving 0 in EBX. Why 0 in EBX? I have told you earlier that each time we you can say start our new row, like this is our very first row, this is also a sort of a new row, so we will move 0 in that column, register. EBX is our column register, ECX is our, you can say, row register, right? So we are moving 0 in EBX. Now this is where we are starting our loop for the EBX, for the columns, right? This is my column loop or inner loop. So I'm saying, is 0 less than equals to 0? ECX is also 0, row is 0, column is 0. So is 0 less than equals to 0? Yes, true. So we will move, EDX was what? EDX was previously 0, right? So we will move 0 in EX, and then I am printing that EX value on the screen. We know that we cannot display any value using some other register. Whatever we want to display, the integer value basically, and that we want to display, we must move it into EX first. So After printing 0 on the screen, like this 0 has been printed, I know that now I have to go to the next line, right? So for that, what we are doing, we have to, you can say, call this procedure that is called as where is that procedure? Okay, first see here, first two things you have to notice. First, each time we are printing our value, like we have printed 0, like here you can see after printing 0 we have 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can say our values are increasing one by one, like single increment, right? So we are incrementing EBX and we are incrementing EDX. And basically you have to see one thing from this statement, that the number we are going to display on the screen will definitely be in EX, but we are moving that number in EX register using EDX. It means that whatever I am going to display on the screen is carried out by EDX. EDX is carrying that value that is just to be displayed, like in this case it is 0, so we displayed 0 first of all, right? In the next attempt, when we are going to display 1, EDX will be holding 1. So remember that we are doing this, printing this through EDX. So we have incremented EBX and EDX. Now they both have become 1, right? So is 1 less than equals to 0? No, it means this condition is false. We have to come out of this loop, right? And after coming out of this loop, we have to go to the next line. Of course, we have printed one row. Now in the next column, in the next row, we are incrementing the row, right? This is how we increment the row. So now we have come to the row number 1. After incrementing 1, it will go to that particular you can say loop, and that loop is this outer loop, right? So the control will go to this loop, and now you can say ECX has become what? ECX has become 1 by here. Is 1 less than equals to 3? Yes. Is 1 is less than equals to 3. We will again move EBX 0 in EBX. Why? Because each time we start our column loop, we have to clear the previous one, right? Like we are not going to print 0 again on the screen. We have to clear it with 0 every time. Like suppose it was 1, right? And previously the EBX, suppose it was 1, so we have to clear it by 0 now, right? Each time we have to clear our EBX. So now we have checked that yes, 1 is less than 3. We have to clear the column loop or the column looping register. Is 0 less than equals to 1? Now you could see one thing, 0 less than 0 is definitely less than 1, right? And when EBX will become, after incrementing, it will definitely become 1 after a couple of statements. So now we will see that 1 is also less than equals to 1. 0 and 1 both satisfy this condition. It means that my inner loop is going to work how many times? Definitely it will work 2 times, right? My inner loop or my column loop will only work 2 times. And see by this, my column loop should only work 2 times, right? This is how we are making the conditions or logic, right? So here like we have seen by this that it will work 2 times. Now we are moving that particular EDX was incremented by 1, right? So we are moving 1 in EX because EDX contains our value that is to be displayed on the screen. Now we have displayed 1 on the screen. Now we are still left with 2, right? The second column was 2. We have to display 2 also by the second row. So we have to increment our EBX, we have to increment our EDX, and now EBX has become what? EBX has become, you can say 1, right? Now 1 is less than equals to 1. Definitely we are again going to print that EDX. EDX has now become incremented, right? From here the EBX has become 2, right? So we have to display now 2 on the screen, and EBX becomes, so you can say it becomes 2, right? So we have to check, is 2 less than equals to 1? Condition is false. We are coming out of the loop, and now we are starting our next row, right? We have printed 2 rows. Now we are starting our next row, that is row number 3, or index wise it is row number, you can say 0, 1 or 2, second row. So we are incrementing the ECX. Now ECX becomes, you can say it becomes 2, I guess. Yeah, ECX becomes 2. Sorry, this ECX means the outer loop. Like here, ECX has become 2. Is 2 less than equals to 3? Yes, condition is true. We are again clearing our column loop, right? And now is 0 less than equals to 2? Now see the statement, 0 less than equals to 2. We know that we are incrementing EBX over here also, so it will first be 0, then 1, and then 2. Like ECX is 2, so EBX will be true at 0, it will be true at 1, then 2. It means that now my inner loop is going to work how many times? 3 times, right? And this is what we exactly want. In row number 3, I want my column loop to work 3 times, right? And this is why we are clearing our EBX every time we start our row, so that we can make this condition true that many times, right? So after EDX also has also become incremented, so that value also be displayed on the screen. Like here 3 will be displayed, then on the same column, I hope you have gotten it already, 4 will be displayed and 5 will be displayed. This has to be true 3 times, so we will display this by EDX. EDX is incrementing for this purpose. Like EDX was 3, then EDX becomes 4, it becomes 5, and we move EDX and EX to display that value on the screen, right? After this, when these 3 columns have been printed, we have to go to the next row, that is our last row. And now E6 becomes what? It becomes you can say 3, right? Like here you can see row number 0, row number 1, row number 2, and row number 3. Now E6 has become 3. Okay, now here you can see, is 3 less than equals to 3? Now I hope you have gotten why I have written, or you can say why I have moved 3 to now 1, because after this 3 or after this statement becomes false, I don't want any other rows in my pattern, right? So that's why it was previously moved 3. So is 3 less than equals to 3? Yes, definitely, because after suppose E6 becomes 4, now 4 is not less than equals to 3. It means I have definitely I'm going to come out of my loop and this loop structure will break. So is 3 less than equals to 3? Yes, we have to clear our EBX again, so that we you can say that here becomes what? It becomes 0 is 0 less than equals to 3. It means now here my loop is work how many times? So see, and 0 it becomes true at 0, becomes true at 1, it will be true, and EBX becomes 3, right? So you can say it will have to work 4 times, right? Like see here, you can see 1 2 3 4, right? So I have to make this make that statement true, so that I have to print column 4 times, right? 4 columns are there, you can say. So here you can see I am comparing that 3 with 3. Yes, true, EBX becomes 0, and now 0 is 0 less than equals to 3. Yes, 0 1 2 and 3. You can see on these 4 numbers this condition is going to be true, so this loop will work 4 times, right? Like EDX has become incremented over here. So you can see I think EDX was previously 6, so we will print 6 on the screen, then EBX increments, then EDX will become 7. Now we see EBX becomes 1, right? So 1 is less than equals to 3. Yes, we will print that EDX value, that is 7 on the screen, then EDX becomes 8, then EBX also becomes 2 is 2 less than equals to 3. Yes, then it will increment, then 3 less than equals to 3. Yes, we will print EDX on the screen till what? Till when? Till 9. I know I am doing it in a hurry because I have told the concept already, that how we are going to achieve this. Just we are moving, this is very important, we are moving 0 in EBX every time, so that this condition becomes true like that many times in time that we want to print on the the columns, that many times it becomes true, right? So we have to move 0 every time, then we are incrementing EBX, we are incrementing EDX. Why incrementing EDX? This is mainly important because we know E6 is my row register, EBX is my column register, but EDX, what is this? and we know EX is what it is basically used to print that value on the screen. But EDX is important because EDX is containing the value that we are going to print. Like here you can see this 6 is printed, right? So it is basically firstly stored in EDX. By incrementing EDX again and again, you can say we are not decrementing, or you can say doing anything like this. EDX just increments every time in our code, and this is what we are seeing over here as well, that our EDX increments like 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, right? So EDX increments all the time. We move it into EDX and then we print it out. So this is how it works. Then we can you can see the result on the screen as well. Like and one thing I will also have to told you is see here, yeah, you can see this plus comes again and again, because this is you can say plus definitely has to come. There are some ways to control this plus, but in this stage, at this level, it's okay, because we are dealing with integers. Integer number are of course negative or positive, right? So this is unsigned int, we definitely get this plus, so don't get worried about this. So I hope you have gotten this concept. So thank you.